All right, everybody. I'm Tommy Wood, reporter with BizWest. I'm joined by Scott Ballstadt, Director of Planning for Windsor, and Stacy Miller, Director of Economic Development for the town of Windsor. Guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so I'd like to start out with just a general question. There's so much development activity happening in Windsor right now. What is your economic outlook for the town in 2022? What does this year have in store for Windsor?
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit on the commercial side, and then I'll let Scott answer for our overall comp plan and what he's looking at for that. We actually have not slowed down through the pandemic, through this last year. We just received 4 more prospects this week. So from my standpoint, it's looking pretty good for Windsor. We still have 14 business parks and 7,000 acres of commercial land for development, and we're seeing prospects along the line from retail to heavy and light industrial.
From a residential perspective, we really haven't seen any change throughout the pandemic. We issued over 900 single-family homes last year and over 200 multifamily dwellings. So the way January of 2022 started out, we're already at 100 multifamily units and 70 single-family homes. So the homes are being built, and we expect that the retail will follow, as well as the jobs and other commercial uses.
So Windsor's also seeing a really unique development come to the area in the sports park. It's going to bring sports amenities as well as lots of commercial space. So what does that have the potential to add to Windsor? In a way that it's a development that you guys just have not seen before.
Yeah, so planning and economic development have been working on this project for many years, and it's an opportunity for us to actually gather a whole new industry for Windsor, which is tourism. And in economic development, we typically call that a cleaner dollar, because people come in, they spend their money, and then they go home. So that amenity will bring in anywhere from 1.2 to 2 million visitors annually at different times of day, different days of the week, so hopefully it won't interfere with all the other commercial growth and residential growth that we're seeing in Windsor.
Yeah, and in anticipation of the sports park, the town board recently adopted the Eastman Park Drive Corridor Plan, which will create that gateway for all those tourists to have that lasting impression of Windsor, and it'll also help the surrounding properties as they develop. So.
Yeah, that is a huge project. And Scott, in terms of future residential development, where do you see Windsor going along those lines? Are you going to plan, more multifamily housing like some other Front Range communities are, or single-family housing, or do you think you'll see the continued development of both types of housing?
Well, our comprehensive plan promotes a diversity in housing types so that we're not just single-family residential. So you've seen that over the last 5-6 years that we've had more multifamily product types, just to serve a variety of families and different income levels, and so I expect that diversity will continue.
And we could also see, you guys, Windsor and the city of Greeley, you're partnering on the acquisition of the Sherview property to create, about 1,000 acres of open space and create kind of a buffer zone between Windsor and Greeley, so that towns don't just develop into each other. What kind of potential does that project have? Not only to offer new, recreation activities for the residents of Windsor, but just to give it a higher level of amenity that the city doesn't really have right now.
Well, I'm not directly involved in that project, but our Parks and Open Space manager has shown concepts of what could possibly happen out there with bike amenities and recreational amenities on the property. But I think the initial purchase is really to preserve the community separation between the two communities.
And that is part of our, in the strategic plan that the town board sets forth, which is to create more of those buffers around our surrounding communities. So that was a goal that we've been working on for the last 2 years, to acquire more open space.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Windsor is going to have a very exciting 2022 ahead of it.
Yeah.
This has been Scott Ballstadt, the Director of Planning, and Stacy Miller, the Director of Economic Development for the town of Windsor. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, it's nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
You as well.